Hopefully out of this session, we will be able to share our lived experience of creating an online escape room for our students, perhaps give you some resources required to create an online escape room for yourself or your curriculum, share our results of our pilot study that includes the students' perspective of using online escape rooms, and some of the lessons learned are next steps as well. We're hoping we have a few minutes left at the end for questions as well.
Excellent. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background as to why we sort of created the online escape room. Obviously, the majority of us, because of the pandemic, went to the online educational environment. And at Mohawk College, they decided to pilot and invest in what they called a rapid response team. And this rapid response team had Amanda Belmonte in it, and they are learning technology specialists. And so we had this resource to help us sort of create some engaging opportunities for our students virtually online. And so I met with the team to try and, just find out more about what our options are and how they could help out. One of them happened to be this online escape room. How do you build it? And this is what we can do for you. So I was very interested in that, started looking at the literature with respect to sort of, serious gaming, virtual online, educational technology in nursing education, but there was very limited information out there. Recommendation was further research needs to be done. And so that's what we sort of created, was a pilot study looking at this online virtual escape room. The one thing we did follow, I did find a great article that really provided a nice framework for us to follow. And it was put out by Huang in 2005. And it's a great framework to look at to ensure you're making sure that you're creating a robust educational media. And so basically the process is understanding what you want, designing it, building it, testing it, and then of course improving on it. One of the things they absolutely highlight is the fact that you should have an interdisciplinary team. So ensure that you have your technology specialists, your content specialists, as well as your educational experts when you're creating any type of educational media, such as an online virtual game. So looking at what our intention was and understanding our users and what was going to make it really important for the students, we decided to focus on one nursing theory course in level 3 of the BSEN program at Mohawk site. We wanted to keep it small so that we can work out any of the kinks along the way. Specifically, what we looked at was trying to provide some content review for them for their final exam that they take in that particular course. So I had to go back to reviewing all of the learning aims, required readings, know really well and in depth what the expectation and the outcomes of the course was. The program is based upon care scenarios. So the care scenarios focused on oncology, cardiac, kidney failure, burns, and multiple organ failure. And so this was starting to think about what kind of activities would be suitable for each of those. So after I created the draft of these activities, I recruited Cynthia and Deb as content experts to make sure that I was really meeting the expectation of the course. And it was super great to have extra minds and extra brainstorming about how we could sort of, create this online escape room for this course. And then there was, once it was designed or the activities were designed, it was bringing it to Amanda building it, and then us going back over it again. And so it was very much a cycle of review, edit, no, we don't like the way that activity looks, let's change it to this, and so on and so forth. So it pretty much took us from January to the end of March in order to actually get it up and ready for the students to actually engage in. So one of the things that we did do on this particular screen, each of those 4 images are the images of the escape room, and we intentionally designed them to try and represent the care scenario. So for example, the burns and the mod situation, we've got sort of your typical ICU room, and our cardiac, where the individual experienced a MI, that's an ambulance. The other 2 rooms, one is a dialysis room and the other one is representing sort of a cancer support group.
So this is just a quick video overview. If you'd like to look at it again on your own time, you can just click the YouTube button in the bottom corner there and it'll open up in a new tab for you. But basically, when the student clicks on the lock icon, it opens up a Google form for them. We've asked them to provide their information in a coded way just to protect their identity. And then they click around the room to try to locate keys. We can integrate videos, multiple choice questions, drag and drops activities, pretty much whatever you could imagine on H5P, which is an online open educational resource. Once they complete the activity, they'll get a code word that they can then enter into their Google form. And then once all of their Google form codes are filled out, they're able to unlock the room. Another nice feature are these interactive videos. So we can force students to watch videos for review. In this case, we're looking at stroke left and right side. And then we can integrate pauses within the video where we'll add a clue question. So it's forcing the students to watch the entire video in order to get that code word that you can see here. And then once the students have completely filled out all of their codes, they can go to the next page where they see that they've completed the escape room and then go to their follow-up survey.
Just a little bit about some of the results. Basically, what we did is about 3 weeks before their final exam, we sent out the invitation for the students to participate, to use this opportunity for their final exam. And what we were trying to do was look at comparing students who chose to complete the online escape room, what their final exam grade was compared to those students who did not want to engage in the online escape room. We also use the technology acceptance model, which it's been out for a number of years, and it evaluates the perceived perspective of the end user. So it was really important for us to hear and see what the students felt about being engaged in the online escape room. So just quickly, our population was 96. We had 96 students enrolled in that course. 12 students chose to participate in the escape room where 84 did not. The mean average score of the 12 participants was 67.9. The non-participants' mean score was 65.5. So overall, they did do better. However, it was not statistically significant difference, probably because our numbers were very low. And when we looked at the technology acceptance model, so it has sort of three key concepts: perceived use, perceived ease of use, and attitude. Under each one of those, the students would answer anywhere from 3 to 4 questions that were related to the major topic. So overall, in each of the rooms, when the students finished, they had to complete this particular survey. And overall, as I mentioned, they found it very positive. They thought it was useful, easy to use, and very engaging.
Also on the open-ended, on the survey, we had open-ended questions for students in terms of asking them what worked well and what would they like us to improve on. And here are some of their comments. I really enjoy the idea of interactive games for online learning, and I truly believe incorporating these kinds of things into the curriculum will lead to a better understanding, greater satisfaction, and increased in grade averages in students. Thank you for pulling this together and for the opportunity to participate. Another student, overall, please make this for future theory class students. It was fun and very educational. I feel like I got a well-rounded education that had my full attention for the entire escape room. And then, wow, first, what an amazing idea that was. Congrats to the team or person behind this. And the last 2 comments, I struggled with this unit in patho-oncology and having expectations, outlines like medications, therapeutic communication, and end-of-life care. And this made studying focused and with a purpose. I really like this game. I believe it should be longer and more in-depth if it is included in the course curriculum so students can get the most out of their learning experience.
So just some next steps in terms of technology. Based on the students' feedback that we got, found that they didn't really enjoy the tab shifting, and nor do we really blame them. At that time, we were kind of limited with the resources we had, which was just PowerPoint and Google Slides and Google Forms. So now we've actually invested in Articulate. So I just wanted to give you a quick little demo of what our escape rooms are kind of looking like now. This doesn't have any music with it, but you can include music. It's way more interactive. There's things that you can click on to create clues, drag to find clues. The clues themselves are built into the game, so they don't have to go to a different tab. And once they complete an activity, they automatically get a key. And once they have all of their keys, they can go on to the next room. And we can also, again, put in distractions like videos and force the students to watch videos before moving on back to the room. Some other things to note for technology is we want to make use of the equipment that we have on campus that students really haven't been able to go in and look at because we've been in COVID. And it's really difficult to find Creative Commons assets like PNG images of medical equipment to add to these escape rooms. So hopefully in the future, that could be something that we look forward to. And also, if you're looking to create your own simple versions of these escape rooms, you can complete them on Google Slides or PowerPoint, depending on what your school is okay with, and also going to H5P, which is, again, an open educational resource.
So the next steps for the actual project is we really want to look at recruiting, a few level 3 students who will obviously be in level 4 come the fall, where they can join our team so that they can then provide some feedback and be involved in the revisions. We're looking at how we can integrate it into the entire term, look at integrating the narratives and the activities that encourage deeper critical thinking. So our fingers crossed, we'll be looking at designing a study across all 3 sites in January 2022. And this just a link, a bit of resources just for you to kind of get started with some of the key the literature that I found useful when we were sort of looking at designing this.